Hello, fellow vapors. Vaping newbie here. Went away a little vacation trip overnight. Went to Old Fort Henry in Kingston. Played some golf at what do you call it? Upper Canada Village, and then dropped by and saw the show at Old Fort Henry. If you have a chance, go see it. But you don't care about that. Why is he here? Well, if you have to come back from a trip from on vacation, what better way than to be greeted by some vape mail? And tonight, the overview will be courtesy of my friend Jason at jgvapes.com. Uh, Jason is a fantastic website. Link will be down below. Go check them out. But we're talking about one device. And first, before I even begin, I got a quiz from my friend Josh from Vaping Newbies Facebook page. Josh, let's see if you can figure this one out, okay? Let's see if you can answer this. What comes in a nondescript black box? Inside, you open it up, there are some instructions printed on red paper. Very tough for me to see, folks. I had to find the right lighting for that. A retractable USB charger. And it also comes with a blue-handled Phillips head screwdriver. You know what it is, Josh? Folks, we're talking about one of the most sought-after devices, the DNA 30 clone. This is an amazing unit. This is all in aluminum. I have red. It comes in many colors. jgvapes.com website. Go check it out. They have different colors if you like. They have them there. Let me just take a walk through it. This is with the back plate off. We have the electronics are all built in here, and there's your battery compartment. What batteries do you use? Well, you should use high quality batteries always. In this case, by the instructions, they recommend Panasonic or VTC 4s by Sony. Of course, the VTC 5s are fine, and I use LGA batteries, which I got off Jason. He also carries those as well. All my LGAs come from jgvapes.com. He also has the VTC 4 and VTC 5 as well as the Panasonic. Put the back plate on, and even for this old guy, it's easy to handle the screws that you need to do. Comes with the screwdriver. Get that all fixed up, and I'm going to tell you something. Putting this together was easy peasy, as they say. You want to make sure when you're putting the battery in, you put it in right. The top where the atomizer or clearomizer will screw in is the positive. The negative goes on the bottom. You don't want to force it in. There has been written issues saying, oh, well, it could rip the battery. You don't want to force it. These are flat top batteries that I'm using. It clicked in very nicely, no problems. So here you go. There's the unit. It is not heavy whatsoever. Again, all aluminum. Fits very well in my hand. Feels good. The thought process of how it's made is very good. Let's take a walk around, and I'll show you what I mean. It's got a 510 connection. It does not have eagle threading, but a device of this nature, you don't want it to have eagle threading. You wouldn't be using it anyhow. On the side, it's got the fire button over here, and then you have adjustment buttons there, and that's for the wattage. Here is your LCD screen, and you have a vent hole. Now, what are you adjusting? This is a variable wattage device, not a variable voltage device. You can only vary the wattage. The wattage ranges from 7 to 30 watts, okay? It goes in 0.1 watt increments. However, by holding down the button, by holding down one of the buttons, let's see, it will do it very quickly. Okay, it does not round robin. So that means when you hit 30, it stops. When you're at 7, it will not go lower than that. So you have to go from 7 to 30. Again, hold down the button. 5 clicks will lock it. So nothing could happen. You push the button, it'll just say it says lock, click 5x, so 5 times. None of the buttons work, okay? When you do have it on, it has a message now that says check atomizer. Why? Don't have an atomizer on there. So I'm going to put on one of my Russian 91s. I have been using it with the K-Fun, but the K-Fun is now out of juice. So I had to switch over. Now I got my Russian on there. So when I push that, it'll say 0.0 volts. Why is that? Well, what it's going to do, it thinks for you. The DNA chip will allow you to put in your wattage, select your wattage. It then reads the atomizer resistance and chooses the proper voltage. So if I was using this, it's at 20.7 watts. It's showing 4.4 volts. It does the thinking for you. Really, really something. I was using this. This is at 20 watts, and that's as I go up, that is the highest I've ever vaped at. And I'll tell you something, folks. 23 watts. That is now a new record for me. You really do feel it. You feel the warmth. You get more of a throat hit on it. Now, that's not just my imagination. I'm actually feeling that. And there's been some issues, people saying that it doesn't fit flush. It looks like there's a well in here. I wouldn't call it a juice well. I wouldn't want any juice to drip down into that. But you could see it there. It's a bit of a crevice, if you will, it's in there. And it looks to be about 22 millimeters. And all my K-Funds and my Russians, they're 22 millimeters, so I don't have an issue. Now, I know that they have larger, and that might be, the circumference might be over that, but the general, not a problem. So there it is with my dripper. Wow. The performance on this is I'm going to use the word that I always use, phenomenal. So when you look at this, you know, the first thing is, well, okay, but how do you charge it? Well, it has this little outlet for that USB charger that I showed you before, and you can plug that into your computer USB port, or you could put that into an adapter and plug it into the wall. If it's charging in your computer, I do not recommend if it's charging in your wall, but if it's charging in via your computer, it has pass-through, which means what? You can use it while it's charging. You do not have to wait for it, okay? That's just one of the benefits of this. So what's it missing? It's got to be missing something. The only thing that I could possibly see that this is missing is a puff counter. And who cares? I used it once when I had a puff counter one day, and that was it. Never even looked at it since then. Now, some people do. I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend. I don't need it. Don't care about it. It's not there. It does everything that I want it to do. And here's the beauty of it. There are people talking about rebuilding for the first time. This has some built-in safety features. If your build is incorrect, if there's a short in this, you're going to get a message. Now let me put this on. I'm putting back my Russian here. Now when I go to fire it, check atomizer. It's telling me something is wrong. It's just not plugged in right, or screwed in right rather. It also has the safety features. If there's a short in here, it'll give you that message if there's a short in your build. Also, it has safety on the battery. Now, I wish I could quote Dave on this, another friend of mine on Vaping Newbies Facebook page, but somebody that believes in battery safety. And let me tell you, there's nothing more important. Well, if your battery runs down too far, it'll tell you. If it's an incorrect battery, it'll tell you. If it's getting too hot, it'll shut down and tell you. You don't need anything more. If you're just getting into rebuilding, you don't have to jump to a mech. You want to look at something like this. This is really, really a good unit, folks. As well, on the side, it has a battery life indicator. So my battery is starting to die down, and it's like, oh, dang, all my other batteries are dead. Not a problem. I'll hook this up in my computer, and I can vape away all day. So everything that you want in there in one package. There is nothing left to chance. As I said, 5 times locks the device. If you're not using it for a few seconds, the LCD will dim, and 2 minutes later, it'll go off. You can also use it in a stealth mode. I'm not quite sure about that. You want to look more into that because I don't want to misquote anything. I don't think I'd use it in a stealth mode. If I wasn't using it, I'd just click it 5 times and shut down. Now, why is that important? I'm going to tell you what happened to me because I'm an idiot. I was golfing yesterday, and I was using my Nemesis, and I put it down in the golf cart, not realizing that I was putting pressure on the fire button again. Now, one of the things I'm always trying to tell people is to use the locking ring. I didn't put it on. I unfortunately duffed my shot. I didn't have far to go. I just put it down, drove the cart to my golf ball, it boiled the juice and I burnt my hand again. This is the third dumbass thing that I've done. This gives me the option to just shut it off. Even if I didn't, there's nothing on here that would have prevented that. I'm sorry, there's nothing on here that would have just continually fired it. So it does have all that you need to do. So who's it for? I look at this as a newer vapor might want to use this. A second stage vapor, what I consider myself, definitely would want to look into this. And even more experienced vapors are using them. So it really spans the whole group of vaping community, if you will. So that's it. Do I recommend this? What does it sound like? You're damn right I do. I've said one word about this. I wrote Jason a note, and the only word that came out was wow. Okay? Just really something. When you have to vape that high, it has it. When you want to tone it down to your sweet spot, it has it. And again, the beauty of it is you don't have to think. Once you like the taste, it does everything else for you. What more can you want from that? So, always like spending time with you. Hope you guys got something out of this. Down below will be the link also for the Vaping Newbie Facebook page. A great place. If you haven't come in, give us a look, give us a like, join up. Fantastic people there. Great vendors such as Jason from jgvapes.com. If you need information, you can get it. If you have information, you can share it. Always like spending time with you folks. Stay healthy and happy vaping. Take care.